What's up, guys? It's Confessions of a Doctorholic with Hassa Slayman. And I want to tell you guys about the dumbest thing that happened to me this week. Yeah, I know. I didn't even have a teaser. I was just like, let me tell you. I just want to complain about this, right? Not complain, just like sort of have a little like mini rant about myself. So I was on ENT. ENT involves looking at the ears. So you use an otoscope, you look at the throat, you use a tongue depressor, and you look through the nostrils. Great placement. Doctor was amazing. Super lovely guy. Made me go on breaks. And that was great because I just wanted to eat an apple or something, you know. So absolutely phenomenal experience. Now, sometimes technology fails me. For those of you who have been listening to me for a while now, you know that sometimes I have special moments. I don't know if it's like more than someone in the average population or on par, but I just like talk about it so people notice it more. But yeah, so I had to improve in otoscopy. We did it in first year. You pull the ear, like you hold the outer bit, you pull it out and up. And that way it gives you a straighter view into the ear canal. And I needed that because I don't know what it is with medical instruments. It takes me a while to get used to it. You know, all I could see was like something shiny at the end. And once, especially like the first time that we practiced it, I had a lovely clinical skills group. One of the guys, he volunteered his ear for me to see, which I genuinely really appreciate. So we go in with the otoscope and I don't see anything. It's like brown because there's so much earwax in there. And you can't say ew, but it was so weird. And he was so excited. He was like, hey, can you describe this to me? Yes, you are filled with earwax. How do you even explain this? And then he goes like, hey, can you please try to take a photo of this on my phone? I want to show my girlfriend. I was literally like, wow. To each their own, but wow, like that right there, relationship goals. So I took a photo for him. He didn't just show his girlfriend, he showed everyone in class. He was like, check out my ears, check out how much earwax I've got. Honestly, I'm still marveled by how it's not blocked. And another thing that I feel like I need to share with all of you is I finally learned how to clear my ears out. That makes me sound gross. Basically, I love cotton buds or Q-tips. They're so bad for you because what they do is they push the earwax in. But I feel like I probably have a wider ear canal, or like maybe I get little cotton buds. So that, my dear listeners, is honestly the best feeling in the world. You just chuck that in, you rub, and it feels amazing. But do not do that, okay? I shouldn't have made it sound like that's something you should do. You should not do that because that's actually bad for you. So, according to the ENT doctor, what you do is you get a warm towel after your showers and you take your head to one side and then to another, and you just basically rub, try to get whatever you can out. And then once a year, apparently go to the ENT and scoop everything out. Just, you know? And yeah, I have seen so much come out of a person's ear. I didn't even think that was possible, you know? Like, it seems little, but Tetris is real. First lady of the morning had cotton in her ear, had paper in her ear, had earwax, and she came to the clinic complaining of not being able to hear things very well. He looks into her ear, he's like, here you go, like have a look. Put some peroxide in and scoops things out and then uses a tweezer, I guess, something that looks like a tweezer, I forgot what it was called, and pulls everything out. And she's like, wow, this is like so good, I can hear things again. And then obviously, you know, because I'm like so curious, I had to ask the doctor. I was like, so what was the weirdest thing that you've seen in someone's ear? I want you to pause this podcast for like 2 seconds and I want you to think about this, because I don't know why. The answer was not something that I would have ever expected. So he said he saw a live roach in someone's ear. I hate bugs, I absolutely hate bugs. And someone told me this. Someone was like, if you get into surgery or ENT, whatever, and you see maggots crawling out of someone's ear or someone's scalp or whatever, what are you going to do about it? Well, I guess I'm going to have to suck it up and treat the patient, right? So he saw a little live cockroach. Obviously, I had to ask about the size, whether it was flying or not, because each of those factors increases how creepy this thing is. But I just don't know how. Like, I genuinely do not understand how a live roach can end up in someone's... Like, what was the roach thinking? Like, this seems like a cool place to chill. Yeah. I don't know if that makes me more scared or more amazed by roaches. They're the only creatures that can survive a nuclear weapon. I feel like that's a sign, Like, I'm not going to complain if roaches become extinct. They probably are useful for nature, but I'm not going to complain about it. So, I feel like I've gone around the subject enough. So, with the otoscope that he had, it was weird. It had a barrel which you twist to get the light to go on. And I don't know if it's just me as a medical student or a me problem. It just didn't work for me. I feel like I'm good with technology, but sometimes I'm just not. And this was one of the moments that I was just like, man, please work for me right now. So he shows me how to do it. He's like, yeah, it can be a little bit hard. Like, here you go. Like, you just twist it twice, you hear this click, and boom. So I'm like, okay, cool. He tells me to check a patient because that's how I'm going to improve. I just have to keep checking ears and noses and stuff until I can figure out what's normal, what's not normal, etc. So I'm twisting and twisting. I don't hear a click. And I twist and I twist and I twist. And I don't know how this happened. I dropped it. Yes. I dropped the super expensive otoscope on the ground. There was a thud. I froze because in my head I was like, Earth, just swallow me whole right now. I don't know what was going through the doctor's head. We just kind of went silent. We gave it a moment of silence, like RIP otoscope. Nothing broke apart. I fessed up. I was like, I think I broke it. And he was like, I hope not. And then I feel like he was like, oh, the student's probably freaking out. I was freaking out. I kind of wonder what my face looked like because I was freaking out. And then he was like, oh, it should probably be fine. He picks it up. It's fine. No cracks, nothing. I don't think anyone's ever done that. Like, I tell my friends and they're just like, only you. And I don't think that's something to make me feel better. Don't tell your friends that. Anyway, I just decided finally, I think I need to look into this a little bit. Like, why are people clumsy? Or more accurately, why am I clumsier than the average human being? So, apparently, according to Reddit, it's normal. So the first response on Reddit was that this person is an athlete, and apparently athletes are clumsier because they operate at higher speed levels. Now, this doesn't make sense to me because I'm like, if that's the case, then they would portray Flash being clumsy when he's like a normal human and not in his superhero gear. And I know that's probably not the scientific explanation that the rest of you wanted, but that, I was like, not confusing. And the other person was talking about hypermobility, and someone responded and kind of diagnosed them. Like, they were like, hypermobility is linked to Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I agree with that, which overlaps a lot with POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And they have neurological abnormalities. I don't know, if I posted on Twitter, on Reddit, and someone replied with that, I would be freaking out. So I don't know what this person was thinking. So I decided to do a little bit more research, lucky for yous. So according to the University of Delaware, they made a massive study where they compared people with ACL injuries, so athletes at the university with ACL injuries, people who played whatever. So it could have been volleyball, soccer, footy, whatever it may be. 1,500 student athletes were taken from 18 different universities, and they checked their ACL injuries to those who didn't have ACL injuries. And it turns out that reflected a slower reaction time. So basically, kind of your like attention span and how you are like concentrating into this task. So turns out the more clumsy you are, the less of an attention span you have, right? Which I feel like could be plausible. So apparently, for me to improve, I just need to keep exercising and maybe try out some lumosity, like increase and improve my cognitive function. And I can't be stressed or tired. That's another thing, because it affects how my brain interacts with different parts of my brain. So yeah, for those of you who want to make me feel better and tell me another story which made you feel like an absolute idiot and wanted the ground to swallow you whole, I'm always ready. Either text me on @Hafsa or send me an audio note. I prefer audio note, so send me an audio note on Anchor. I want to feel good about this.